there's a disconnect between what people say they like about something and what they actually like about it. A strong case for the claim is the popularity of Spider-Man. Something often sold about the character is that he's an average kid, having more relatable life issues and whatnot.
The fact that there's a really big reason Peter Parker stands out amongst the crowd of most other superheroes. He's not flawless, he gets pushed around a lot, he struggles to keep everything in his life in check, he gets bullied, he struggles to make ends meet, and he tries not to f*** up his personal relationships. To sum up, he's you and me.
I don't think audiences love Spider-Man. I think they love Peter Parker. There's a reason why a young kid and a 40-year-old man can relate to Peter. The character is universally adaptable and understanding. He's the embodiment of us. He makes mistakes, he says the wrong thing, he does stupid shit. He is, at the heart of it, flawed. And aren't we all?
However, there's a much bigger factor in play when really thinking about it. Somewhere where it's really apparent is where Spider-Man sells most, in toy sales. Consistently more than most other heroes. And it's more than just his relatability. Also, when you look at a lot of physical portrayals of Spider-Man, he doesn't really look like a kid. More like an adult who is somehow still dealing with high school stuff. So here's some factors of contribution. There's his powers, where he's able to do a little more than the average person, but not too much. He could web swing, but not fly. He's strong, but not too strong. Also, there's the key note of dexterity, which of course allows for creativity in the fights. And if you know your animals, you know just how handy a dexterous appendage is. Also part of a reason Spider-Man does well in video games, due to his very handy power set, compared to someone like Superman or Hulk, who are rarely touched on due to being OP. But I think a really key note is his visual aesthetic. When looking at the suit, it covers the whole body. It honestly feels like anyone could project themselves to be Spider-Man, hence why people often claw for a black version of Spider-Man. Also, the general color ratio is nice, using blues and reds, very likable colors. And if you section off each part of the body, you'd find there's still that ratio, compared to someone like Superman, where the reds and blues are distinctly segmented. It's also kind of ironic that such a visually appealing superhero is coming from someone called Spider-Man, something known for being extensively unappealing. Maybe part of a reason why people often like tampering with the man-spider idea. So if I was to compile a list of factors to why people like Spider-Man, I'd probably put visual aesthetic on top, with power set following, with a whole relatable young factor being relatively minuscule. It is definitely useful for helping to explore the human element of Spider-Man, with good story potential. Just shouldn't be treated as the key reason for success. Also, this aspect of Spider-Man in some ways has been a bit intrusive. Like when apparently at one point in the comics, they literally retconned Peter and Mary Jane's marriage. While I don't really read the main ones, I definitely believe Peter should have a life. Here are a few other things worth noting. Spider-Man has a big rogues gallery, with plethora of powers to play off of. Funny enough, Dafoe, who's considered to be Spider-Man's biggest villain, the Green Goblin, is noted for having a particularly peculiar aesthetic in the comics, one that is so bizarre, a lot of the live-action interpretations have struggled to adapt it, which, oddly enough, I think makes it the best villain to pair up against Spider-Man. Sure, the likes of Venom or Doc Ock look more visually appealing, but doesn't it just feel right to have someone that is as balanced as Spider-Man, paired up against someone as odd as Green Goblin? Also, coupling the Goblin's contrast with his cutthroat ferociousness makes him a key opponent worth holding up against Spider-Man. Hey, a bit of time traveling. Now I'll state everything in the video made before now was made a while back, like finished around August or September of 2017. I'm a bit of a hoarder. As a matter of fact, it was made for the Ultimate Spider-Man crossover video. Now as far as why I'm having an added bit now, well, some new stuff came out. First idea of multiple Spider-Man. It was something that I formulated back in the last Spider video. And well, we got some recent news. Disney's buying Fox. And since the Marvel brand is under Disney, and Fox specifically has the rights to X-Men Fantastic Four, it means the universe is growing and more potential for crossovers. When it's revealed that Sony Animation's having a movie about the Spider-Verse, many different Spider-Men. Now I talked about the lure of Spider-Man crossovers before, but tying into the thesis for this video, I think I could add more to why. Spider-Man's got a fun, full-body aesthetic, making it more interesting to see the different versions together. Compare that to the then compared Batman, where he still has that mouth bit, which adds a little more of a disconnect. Also, tying into the most recent movie, well, just look at these visuals. These people are really taking full advantage of the medium. past versions definitely had fun with their Spider-Man. Raimi's with their web-slinging, with Homecoming adding more gimmicks with the teched-out outfit. Oh, and to top it all off, the main Spider-Man here isn't even Peter. They're going with Miles. As stated, this is a suit anyone could use, all tying into aesthetic reasons why people like Spider-Man.